Here again. I am. Well, I'm just gonna carry on. Basically, we're looking into yeah, more design work. Basically, sorry, I'm a little out of it at the moment. Right, so we need to carry on. Sorted out spawning things, started looking into items, and I started thinking of building stuff because that's where my head went at the time. But I still have some things to finish off, and I think it's worth finishing them off at the moment. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna start with this and carry on, basically. Well, that's rather unfortunate. Did that just, yeah, that just reset all of those. Oh dear. Right, restart from one. Man, I don't understand words sometimes. Whatever. Okay, so we're thinking about the starting uh starting side of things. So hostile passive animals can spawn inside and near starting locations. I mean, the obvious thing is that so players can get food to cook, um, possibly add some danger to the starting area. So I guess the cons are, let's say, starting. What? Oh, for God's sake! I don't know what just happened. There we go. Press the wrong button, I guess. Right. So starting with hostile animals could be difficult to balance around the starting tools slash weapons. What else are we thinking? I wish I could. I don't know. Docking for this stuff is a bit weird. Who knows? Right, starting with someone could be difficult to balance around starting tools and weapons. I don't really think there's much else. I mean, what would happen? So if we're like guarantee spawning these things when a new player joins, which is I think is what we're essentially suggesting here. So like you're in an area, there's no other players around, you spawn and it forcibly creates various items and animals. I don't really think there's much to worry about. I can't think of anything more significant anyway. I really wish the numbering and stuff worked a bit differently here. Whatever. So what do you think about this? So that's really broken. I don't know why that's so bad. We have the ability to control what spawns where and how much. We just need to just balance it. Seems pretty reasonable. Right, so that's that kind of all thought out. So yeah, this stuff, I think I've covered everything in these. Why this is. It's weird that this keeps resetting the spacing and stuff. This was meant to be like that. So I don't know. Whatever. It'll probably reset itself multiple times. Can create temporary storage hidden in the ground. So I like, so this is something you get in Rust. You do it in DayZ? I think you can. I'm not sure whether I've seen it. I know in Deadside you can create crates outside. Whether you can bury them, not so sure. Okay, so the advantage is players can store kits or create closer storage locations to their current objective. Gives something for other players to look for. So I like the idea that I don't know how you can find them randomly in Rust. I don't know if you can, because it's like maybe you're watching somebody bury their loot in the ground, and you want to like, you wait for them to leave, and then you dig it up and you steal their stuff. That's a reasonable possibility. And in Deadside, you have a detector thing. You bearing finder, but that's for like hidden caches. Oh hey, yeah. Well, kind of. I'm just streaming for the sake of needing to progress this. Because this is the entire decision-making process for the game I've been working on, and I need to actually make these decisions and figure out why I would do one thing over another, and all that kind of stuff. Let me see if I can. I really wish I could get the stream stuff working a bit better. It's so like, can I make this go horizontally somehow? It's currently just a browser. Oh god, why is it? Yeah, that ain't gonna work very well. I'll just leave that in the corner. Whatever. It's not gonna hide much. Um yeah, so like how would people discover it? They would need like a specific item, means of finding it, but like at what point? So if you're walking around and you don't know whether somebody's been near you or not, and you don't want to make it too easy, you want to make like a means of detecting stuff actively. So you've got to like use a tool. So I think in Rust they recently had like a metal detector, for instance. So you like walk around and you use a metal detector and it detects, currently it's like random items, but I think it can pick up the hidden caches that people place. And I like the premise. But like, is it warranted to be able to find other people's loot like that? Or how boring is it? Like, would you bring one with you and randomly follow people and hope they put one down? It seems like an unlikely scenario. So it's not something people do very often. Um, so I'm not really sure. I think I need to make my camera a bit smaller. Let's just hide in the corner. Ha ha ha. Um. So yeah, what else? Well, is there any other positives? I think that's all it really comes down to. So I mean, there's probably, yeah. Why does it have to reset all of the paragraphs of these things? That's not fun. And Word is weird sometimes. Oh, good. And the numbering's gone back. Man. Um. This is the kind of thing I kind of want to make an actual like a Java application to manage all of this data, and then I can just add and remove things from it, and all of this nonsense doesn't become a problem. But whatever. Um, Maybe I'll do that another time. So the cons of this, I mean, it's more containers to I mean it's not much of a concern, but I suppose it is a concern. Um hmm. Players can lose track them. Players could abuse the Can they? How do you exploit or abuse something like this? So, like, let's say, for instance, you put it close to a point of interest. So you're near like a scripted NPC environment, and you just like you put a storage chest and essentially in the floor, bury it, or maybe you don't bury it, but that's yeah. Um, it'd be temporary storage. It would be limited in where you could put it. So you can actually put it inside an area or near another player's base in the same way you couldn't do it with your own buildings and things. Um, so what do you do? Can you use it to... No, you just have those restrictions. And I think that's fine. It would be an open chest so anyone could interact with it, so I don't need to worry about permissions and things. Yeah, it's an open world PvP thing. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that. I don't think it's possible to abuse it currently. It's fine, I think. Um, yeah, so there would be limit of one per player. It could only store a small amount of items. They wouldn't require any additional classes or data. I mean, they might need to store some extra properties if it's like hidden or not. Something like that. Players can lose track of them. I mean, we can just add some basic UI. Something like that. A pretty reasonable thing. Okay, so like, so in the realm of item storage, now we've got carts, and I feel like a lot of games. I mean, in some of the modern ones, even it would make sense to have a sort of carryable storage that you can craft, like an early tier vehicle, and you don't know, maybe wheels are an item you can find, and if you get two of them and some metal sheets and some rope or something, you can craft a portable carrying um yeah, trailery type thing. Same way that you have it in like Valheim, for instance, which would be a weird thing in other games, but um I do think it would be quite cool because yeah, you've got like this kind of stuff, and it is a cool idea. It might be a little out of place in more modern game, but perhaps motorbikes or pedal bikes could suffice. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad shout. So it'd be like you can attach them to vehicles. Maybe it makes the vehicle move slower based on its weight. So that would be quite interesting. Let's expand on that. So where are we in the hierarchy? Item storage. So if we do this, carts. So like I really wish it would stop doing auto numbering like that, but whatever. So carts made of basic materials without an M. Carts can be equipped to existing vehicles. Parts current weight can influence the speed of the vehicles. I feel like this is just, I don't know, too close, not close enough. Who knows? Makes it hard to drink tea. I do think this is pretty cool. So like, so this would be bikes, motor slash pedal, cars even. You can make like a large scale cart that can equip the car. And maybe it'd just be, like a regular trailer at that point. And let's say they don't need to be, and you can walk with them. So emphasis on the can be equipped vehicles. So it'd be like carts can be pulled by the player. Cart's current weight can influence the speed of vehicles. Player. Can they be destroyed? Presumably I'm gonna have to have some kind of damage statistic or the ability to damage vehicles. It's kind of hard to damage a cart. It's without an explosive, bullets are just going to make some holes in it. It's not like a car even. You could break the engine and its components, but a cart, it's just some wheels and some flatbeds and balls. Having some extra holes in it seems a bit redundant. I mean, could you maybe destroy them, like with an interaction? So you go up to it and like breaks the container, and all the items spill out onto the floor, or it creates like a little catch-all bag thing that falls on the floor and contains all of the items. Don't know. Would that work? So okay, let's keep it like that. So carts can be can only be damaged by explosives. Carts can be Carts can be deconstructed manually by players. So when a cart is deconstructed, the items on the floor to a single container. So I'm thinking it'd be practical from a code perspective. Hang on. So the container then despawns. Same time loot normally okay, hang on, that's a dictionary, there we go. Right, yeah, so from a code perspective, I could have the cart and it will have a container, and the container doesn't look like anything, or maybe it's a like a metal frame, so you've got like a square thing and then poles coming out, so it'd be like a hard to do at that angle, but yeah. And then you break the cart, and then this container falls on the ground, and it would like occupy itself with 3D models of some basic concepts of what items are stored inside. So I could use sort of a stacking thing in the same way Valheim, and I think there's a few other games that have visual item representations inside containers. So that would be pretty cool. I could mess with that for ages, because all I'd have to do is create a basic size of a thing and then occupy it with crates that appear and disappear as and when the actual slots are occupied. And then later on I could change what those slots items look like. So yeah. Maybe if you have weapons in, they like stack along the side in a row and so on and so forth. Anyway, that's just a nice cosmetic thing to have. But yeah, and then you destroy the cart, and all it does is detach the inventory cart object, and it just falls onto the floor. So it then becomes temporarily physics enabled, drops to the ground, disables its physics, and then it's just a thing that people can interact with. Anyway, I've talked way too much about carts. So this will allow players allows to transport lots of items in the early stages of the game. They are extensions to existing vehicles, therefore can be useful in the later stages. I like the idea of having like a convoy or sort of a back and forth transport type thing. Because like one of the cool things to set up in games like Valheim when you get to that point, so you have like you're doing a bit of deforestation, and so you need a lot of people to do a lot of work in a short space of time. And the best solution is you have one person constantly gathering wood, and you have two carts, and so they fill up one cart, and you're there as well initially. And when you fill one up, you take one cart and you go all the way back to base, drop it off, bring it back, and by then they've either filled up or just about filled up the other one, and then you gather the rest, put it in, and then you just do this constant cycling back and forth between a site. So that, and I like the idea of it in this game. It would be quite cool. Whatever, hard to implement, I would imagine, but and then yeah, you can just attach them to vehicles later on, so it's not like you're wasting them. They would be practical to maintain. Something like that. Can I add raw text to a scene? Ah, cool. I can just call it this. Oh, it's got fonts and everything. I'm being distracted by things. That's a very large size. Good grief. Right. Because I just want a quick and easy be right back thing before I do anything else. Oh, I could just drop somewhere. And then I can just toggle this on and off. Nice. Perfect. Right, I won't actually be right back, but there it is. Good. I had a screen for it. I think I want to commission somebody else to do some artwork for this, for my channel again. Just because I can. Alright, what are the cons of carts? Why did it do that? I am not getting on with this. Why would it reset that? That's mad. Yeah, I think I really need to find a different means of dealing with this information. An Excel spreadsheet is unfortunately the best solution for this, but
I'm not quite sure how to help you.
yeah, who knows? Maybe I should get back into ASCII docs. That's why we've been using it at work as it happens. Right. Whatever. I'll just go through and manually fix that later. Oh, that's gone back. God, it linked to all of those ones for some reason? That's so weird. Okay. Again, I mean it could what are the problems with this? I mean we end up we have a sort of don't know. Hard to think because they're fundamentally fine. They don't cause any real problems. They exist. which takes up memory, not much. They're just adding to the existing inventory storage data, which again is probably fine. I've never really used structs that have like an absurd amount of data stored in them, because I'm going to end up by a single source of truth, as it were, a database holding all rows of information for all inventories in the game. Obviously, each server will have its own, but I mean, how big's that gonna get? That's the player's inventory, any backpacks, every single storage container. And then like spawned ones, so like newly created storage containers would yeah, newly created storage containers would add to it as well. But they only store information if they have information to be stored. So an empty container is nothing more than a row of data in the database until somebody uses it. I guess it's fine. Well, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I have to create some test data that like spams storage containers for like hundreds and hundreds of them, and then try and manipulate information. Hmm. Right. Let's think about this. And not really. I suppose the physics. Right. There. Is that not how? Do I always get it wrong? Oh, right. Yeah. It's just not an I. Physics. Right. So the physics of the cart's movement can be complicated. Um, hmm. I mean, I suppose so. I've got an immediate thought to this actually. If it's so, if the physics is complicated, I could make it so you just attach via rope. So like, the cart could be a simple square container, wheels, and you attach to it from any point with a rope, and it then simply moves towards you. Yeah, as you away from it. Something like that. Keep it really basic. So you just have this pole or something, and you when you interact with it, rope goes between you and it, and then it just kind of orientates, faces you, and then you move along, and the cart's just always doing that. And you don't need to worry about which direction it rotates or anything. You just interact with it, and then it goes, and then you move, and it does all the yeah, something like that. Should be fine. Yeah. Hmm. It is cool to think about this stuff though. How am I gonna make it? I guess magic of voxel. I need to come to a decision about the size of my grids and foundations for buildings. 3 by 3 worth of foundations for a grid wouldn't be too bad. You imagine you're making a base. A grid, it's like a world grid. And a 3 by 3 base in most games, particularly in a game like Rust, for instance, every foundation would store like a couple layers of chests or like your furnaces, or it could just act as an airlock or something. So it's got to be like probably about the size of the room I'm in at the moment, maybe smaller. Be what, 5 foot square? Maybe that's a bit too small. But yeah, and then you'd put a flag down, or what do you call it? Like a starting foundation that would be like your central base, and you put it down in like the center of a grid, and then you could build a whole extra layer out and up, anything in between. And then obviously you can go out into the different grid sections next to you. I mean, you don't have to start, but that would be like a reasonable spacing. So a single person or even 2 people could effectively only need to occupy one grid. Yeah, something I'm gonna need to come up with. Would it be in buildings? Oh man, I got so much to think about in this. We're getting there, slowly. Um, so this would be building size slash scale. So it's like how big is a foundation block? How many blocks can fit into a world grid? I probably want a separate section for like the world grid. So if I go here to world, grid sizes, grid shape. What else do we need to consider? Like grid detection, probably a big factor. Because I'm thinking a lot of my concepts for detecting players, spawning AI and loot and things are going to be based on this grid system. Because in the Unreal Engine I could just make some rectangles for each grid, and so the whole world will have these detection grids, and if there's not a player within a certain radius of them, they just don't activate, they just do nothing. And then as a player moves around with the sort of level of detail system, you can also turn on and off AI and things. So I think optimally in an open world environment, you have AI that are pathing around patrol routes, but they're not even like rendering with animation. They're just like a invisible object moving around the map. and then as somebody gets close enough, it like renders them and spawns them in. But this is like different from the graphical rendering because it's like they didn't even exist as physical objects until that transitional state. So you'd have like a actually whilst I'm here, so this would be like grid spawning. I call it LOD for level of detail. And then let's just say this would be like at what point does the AI and loot actually spawn in as visible objects? So like imagine you've got this huge open world and you've got buildings and loot and animals and trees. And so like typically you have level of detail, and so you know the graphics not driver don't know, the code for the graphics engine only renders what you can see. So from a performance point of view, if there's a big old hill in front of you, your computer's not going to be bothering to render anything behind it, but they still might be functional. So what I'm talking about is the separation between like a functional AI with animation, walking around, doing stuff, versus the concept of an AI that's nothing more than an empty actor that's representing a collective of like hostile NPCs with guns walking around. And so from the code's perspective, it's just literally an actor that's moving at a fixed rate from one position to the next. So it doesn't have to render anything. There's no objects being created. It's a thing with a location that can have its location updated over time. It doesn't even necessarily need to tick. So you could make it so it starts at a location and then it could like fast forward itself to where it's going to be. So for instance, a player gets near a patrol route and then the AI could move at a set rate along the patrol route. So you just figure out how long it's been since they were spawned, and then you just spawn them. So you've got like they start here, players off the map, and the player moves up, and it turns out that they would have been walking for 3 minutes. So you fast forward them moving 3 minutes in time, so you get their velocity, times it by time, figure out their distance traveled, and then calculate the distance along the route, and then you just teleport them there, spawn in the AI as actors, set up all of their inventories and stuff, and then you can do the same for like loot and buildings, all that kind of stuff. And so from the player's perspective, the game's like this natural world that's doing things, but if there's only a couple of people on a server, it's only going to bother to do things at a certain rate. Anyway, and yeah, that's the point of this, and it'll be really straightforward to implement something like that. You just create an alternate version, like a loot container, for instance, would just be the same thing, and it would just have an ID referencing what type of loot container it is, like it would anyway. But it just doesn't bother to decide what items it has in it or not. And so it just exists as a concept, and then the player gets closer, and then it exists as a box or something, and then when the player interacts with it, or maybe when a player gets within range, it generates its inventory, something like that. Anyway, oh goodness me. Um, yeah, that was quite the tangent. Hmm. It's all got to be done, all got to be considered. Yeah. Right, I will actually be right back. I'm curious. I know I've got a BRB scene. Uh, can I like? I'm wondering whether I can create a duplicate. So if I duplicate this, um, this camera, call it BRB. I'll just call it programming, be right back. And then if I do that, what happens if I now switch? Okay, fair enough. So if I remove that, and then I can just swap. Cool. Right. I wonder. I'm just going to turn the mic off and see if that persists. Test, test, test. All right, there we go. We are back. Oh, cool. So yeah, I like the BRB screen there. That was pretty good. Can I? All right, fair enough. Okay, other cons for using carts. I don't know. They seem fairly valid to me. They are simply a large backpack. Like I'm thinking of what kind of difficulties are you gonna have in the game with them? Is there gonna be an imbalance? People gonna like abuse it somehow? I mean, there's the possibility that they can use them to stand on and like glitch into things, but because the cart orientates to you, it's probably not a problem. Yeah. Um, yeah, right, so let's think about that. So carts could be abused to stand on and maybe get uh, locations that shouldn't. Yeah, so I mean, I guess it's just a case of like test out possible situations, parts that cause issues, mostly due to extra height and mostly due to extra height and um glitching through walls, etc. I can envision a time where you pull up a cart to a wall and you can interact with it from behind a wall. Hmm. So yeah, something to consider. I suppose if you could, so if for some reason the cart is like creeping in, so you got like a wall, and then the cart's like poking through a bit somehow, and then you can interact with it. I would just do a check from your perspective to the cart's center, and if there's a wall between you and it, do like a ray trace or something, then it will just deny access to it. Should work. Um. Oh, that's weird. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Well, we'll leave that at that. Specialized backpacks. So this is things like backpacks specifically for holding different items and therefore influencing their weight potential. Yeah. And I guess it's probably well, I mean, so allows players to specific types of items easier, for giving more choice and variety. Yeah, so players in the mid game can specialize in a role and have it's kind of, it needs a kind of the same thing, really. It's more, I guess, I guess this is a bit more significant because, like, the mid game's kind of important because in a lot of games, so in Rust, it's like when you first get actual guns, so like proper pistols and maybe an assault rifle of some kind. And same thing in like Deadside, you go from the generic scavenge pistols, shotguns, and SMGs to like a Mosin and proper assault rifles or even LMGs and stuff. And then you also get attachments. So it's kind of like you have like the starting backpack and then you have like the specialized one. So you've got like a weapon one, stone one, wood one, medical supplies, food one. You know, there could be like a refrigerated one which stops food from spoiling. Yeah, something like that. So I mean, so let's make a backpacks special heading here. So we would have like, why is it linking these things together? This is just gonna drive me insane soon. Like, how are these linked? How are you going from here to here? And then I save and it changes them all again. I mean, it's just gonna happen again in a minute, so I don't know why I'm bothering, but whatever. Dear. I just don't know how it forgets that these have already been set like that. Hmm. Okay, you know what? Do I want IntelliJ for this. Hang on, I just need to figure out if anything I've got already handles ASCII doc. So it's ASCII doc ID. It's probably just going to be that. I doubt I can make. Yeah, fuck it. I'll just use what I know. Good grief. Okay, so like oof, quite expensive. Wait, that's a trial. Do I actually have to buy it? Mm-hmm. Individual use. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, back to ASCII doc IDEs then. Oh man. Okay, maybe not. That's way overkill. Uh, yeah, I suppose. Oh, Eclipse can do it. Okay, well let's use Eclipse then, because I just want to be able to sort this out properly. Right. How do we do this again? There's not source. I mean, preferences sometimes have plugins and things. Probably not. It doesn't look like it. Nah. Okay. Oh, is that gonna do it? Oh, cool. Yeah, whatever. Take my soul. Alright, we'll come on to that in a bit. Because this is getting a bit ridiculous, I think. It's from command. How do I? That's interesting. So there's a Google Docs thing for it as well. Let's try that. And just want to sort this out because I'm going to be using this for a while, and this is making too many mistakes for me. I think. So if I go into drive, all right, let's close this. But we're just gonna do some uh data manipulation. Let's say. Oh right, don't know why I did that. Okay, I'm just everything's going wrong here. Right, look, you go there. Documents. Okay, that's done it. And then how do I? How do I use this? I do not understand how I actually utilize this application. Uh, okay, so if I open it, right, so now we're in here, and they're saying add-ons. File. Oh, there we go. Let's see what happens. Huh. So had some fun with that. Sure. Right, and then in theory we can come in here and we go new uh, new project. Is there like a maybe not. Just a new generic project. Let test. New file. Um, what are ASCII docs again? File extension .adoc. Let me just paste it in here. Might take it a while. Let's just delete that. Okay, it seems mildly happy. Don't really need the table of contents. Oh, it seems to have lost my well, basically every single thing inside of here, unfortunately. Oh, that's because it's not on here at all. That's weird. Okay, hang on. Oh, I know why. Because I'm not actually in the drive. Yeah. Okay, now we can do it. So now we go here. What was it? It's tools, was it not? Like extensions or something. Isn't there like a convert? There we go. Now I can do this. There, right. Oh dear. It's the little things. Okay, that still hasn't converted. Or my copy and paste didn't work for some reason. There we go. Alright, that looks good to me. And then we come up here and we butcher this. Get rid of it entirely. Wonderful. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't seem to have wow, it really hasn't got most of the information in it. How is that possible? Huh? It's missing so much data. I just don't get it. Alright. Yeah, that's all gone. Okay, there we go. Alright, sorry, this is driving me insane. It's such a simple thing. Right, delete both of those. Oh, undo that, hang on, right. Delete that, we go in here. We delete everything, we paste this. See what we get. Okay, good. Right, then we do this, convert all. Copy this, go into here, paste it in there. Right, do we have most of it? Oh. I'm, oh, this is something else. How have you not got this information? It's all there. And it's not here. Is it because I didn't save? Okay, that looks a bit better. Right. Okay. So the cool thing about this is I should be able to let's see. Right, so in theory, so I can put this up here and I can do it on the side over here. So I'm looking at code and you're looking at the actual output. um Anywho, right, that was a annoying thing to deal with. Right. So now I should. So if I do a find and replace, and I'll bring this up on here. So if we do a regular expression, and then it's like any character. And now we want to do like a find and replace. Thank you very much. Right, so it's any character and a dot, or it should be any number. So it's like hang on. It should be /d, I guess. So it's /d /dot. Did that work? That seems to have worked. Okay, there we go. Nice. Right, that cleaned up all of those. So that should be like an auto-generated heading-y type thing now. And we just need to tidy these up. They will look a bit rubbish in here. But the advantage is all of this numbering and stuff is kind of irrelevant now. I'm just going to, yeah, because I think if it's, does it work reasonably well like this? I'm trying to find an example where there was multiple, but I thought most of these had multiple decisions in them. Am I going mad here? Where's word wrap? That I suppose, no? There must be a... Can I not? It's like this, isn't it? There we go, right. Oh, I'm gonna spend so long faffing around with this crap, aren't I? I'm gonna compare this to the actual document. Alright, so if I go to the spawning stuff. Okay, so like axe scouring tools has multiple in it. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't have all the additional parts of it, which sucks. Yeah, so it's lost a lot of the information. So if I remember correctly, it's like you do that. Because this will make it easier in the long run. So, fresh preview. Okay, yeah, so it is working. So I just need to do this. Which will take a short while, unfortunately. Used to cut things. Silent weapon. Scores combat. Yeah, so it's working. It just needs this being done to it. So for instance, if I wanted to add a point against this, it would be ranged weapons should either craft a bow or found inside buildings. There we go. Problem solved. And now I'll just go through and retroactively add all of the stuff that it didn't put in for me. Yeah, if I do... Yeah, so we just need to do this. Is that working? Good, right. There we go, and it doesn't mess it up. It doesn't do weird shit that I don't want it to. And if I want to eventually copy it into a spreadsheet, I can copy it from the rendered version. Right, well, here we go, I guess. This might take a short while, but should have done this to start with. Pistol useful for hunting. Copy paste, copy paste. I mean, nobody really wants to watch me do this, I suppose. I could stop and come back later. Maybe a good idea, but I mean, it's only going to take me a short while to come up with this, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, I much prefer this already. I don't need the side view here necessarily to be as it is. I wish I could detach it or clone it or something and have it appear on the other screen. Interesting. Yeah, because I mean it just comes out, well, like this. So yeah, I think that's fine. And it auto scales, and yeah, the headings look nice. Good. Yeah, okay, I'll leave this up. Hang on, it would be easier for me to do it this way around, right? And actually have it here. Okay. I'm surprised it didn't do this for me, but whatever. I'm just standardizing all of it now, and then I can copy and paste easier. Oh man. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's immediately better. Though I can't see chat or anything when I'm doing this, so I don't know. Okay, nothing, can't defend yourself, have to find tools. Okay, right, axe going, so it's like a surprisingly hard to copy and paste from this for some reason. Used for hunting. Okay, and then we've got that to do. Just put in some to-dos. Pistol. Right, create sound. Okay, good. So yeah, if I do this, hit the refresh. Or is it already? What happens if I refresh that? No. That doesn't seem to have updated. So I'm just going to redo it. Okay, I need to get rid of the table of contents. That's, oh wow, yeah, that's mad. Okay, it does actually update it, and it's just wasn't linked properly or something. Okay, good, right, so... Oh, we're getting somewhere. So it looks a bit weird, but yeah, I just need to make sure that I've copied everything from here. So food and water. Copy this in. Yeah, to do. Close. So we want that in there. That's all good. That's all good. Then we have starting locations. Just generic text. Spawning algorithm, which should be like ... Where have I gone? Okay, cool, that works. Yeah, this is a significant improvement for sure. Right, now I got to do all of the other ones. Can I hide this separately? Who knows? Yeah, so now I've got to go through and redo all of these. Joy. It's fine. Once I've done it once, I won't have to faff around with it again. I do regret not doing this to start with though, because I would have been able to do it a lot nicer. It's harder to maintain and visualize because you're literally just looking at walls of text and code, and it doesn't really work very well. But it's so much more consistent and easier to manage. Or at least I think so anyway. The advantages massively outweigh the disadvantages for it. Okay, and then at least it's copied most of it. I think that's the biggest advantage I get. Because I don't have to copy the first ones at the very least. Oh man. It will improve shortly. So there's really not that much I've done that I would need to redo. So. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I added that to the wrong section. Okay, I think that's that. I'll just check it one table at a time. Keep making the same mistake with this, and I don't know why. I know it copies all of the stuff I don't want. It's funny, I did this for work as well. At least I did it slightly sooner, and I have the latest version of said products, so I don't have to worry about using inferior software to do this. Anyone? No one? Cool. Alright, so if I refresh that and we go here and we update this. Okay, now I can compare this. So like this is the difference, right? We end up with this. And it's all nice and neat. It looks like I need a to do on that first one. There we go. See that I'm finding problems already. But that looks good. That looks good. Fine. Oh yeah, I've missed that section. The hostile department. Have I? Wait, what have I missed? Hostile AI don't directly... Oh right, no I haven't. And then there's this. See, and the numbers line up now. They don't do weird shit without me wanting them to. Okay, so that's Great, that's that one done. Now we're gonna go on to the storage section. So back we go. Oh dear. Right. Kind of wish you could write in the document that it generates as well, but I suspect that's a bit far removed from what it's capable of at the moment. I mean, how's that looking now? Okay, so one. Yeah, just got this section to go. The cool thing is I can globally change the formatting, but it's also consistent. So it does allow for some useful things. And I like that it already has the alignment nice, so that they're not like 3 million miles away from the thing I'm looking at. Okay, right, so obviously we're going to be missing some things. So that one's fine. So we need this slot-based storage. That's three things. Three things there. Two things here. Two things here. Cool. Weight-based storage. Whoops. Just on the second section. Oh man. Okay, let's see what we're looking like. Quick comparison. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1, 2. So we're on the backpack section now. Okay, that's just that. The things we have to do for design. Nuts. Cool. Whoops. That's that one. Nearly caught up with ourselves. Oh dear. Right. Okay, so refresh. So now you see we have this. Right, so let's just do a sanity check. So 111, 123, 12, 12, 12, 12, 1. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Cool. It's kept all of that in it. It's got that. It's now got all the to-dos in it, which I didn't have before. Cart stuff. Yeah, I just need to fix the stuff here. So those are supposed to be that. There we go. See, they've done that now. Grand. All right. That's moved over there. That's looking good. Right, is there anything else weird in here? That's just a lot of arbitrary thoughts. Is that what it actually looks like? No. Okay, well, I've got to. Oh, whoops. Oh, I've got to realign this then. Somewhere there's like a weapons section. Why has that gone so weird? Does that not link to the position I'm looking at? Is it just because it's not got spacing between there? Oh, it is. How odd. I really did struggle with some of this, and I don't know why. It literally just didn't add a carriage return after most of it. So it's all gone to shit. Yeah, it really didn't understand a lot of this. So if I find this and like replace it with and if I find that close. Alright, just tidying some things up. This should now look a lot cleaner. Oh, okay. Somehow disassociated from it. There's still some at the start, but this looks a bit better now. That's the searching section. Wherever that's gone. There we go. Some spaces. Cool. Just looking out for equals equals and things that shouldn't have it. Presumably there's some there. Oh, there's one there, one there, one there. One there. 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 Wonderful. And if I now refresh this and we go up, that all looks good. There's spawning still. There it is, right. Movement projectiles come back. Good, right, everything looks all nice, clean and tidy again. And all of this lines up. And this will expand and contract and things according to whatever I look at it on. I can like change the font size and things globally in the same way you can in Word. Good, everything looks a lot cleaner. Right, so I'm probably going to have to put this in like a Git doc or something. I don't know. Can I think about this? I probably want to move it into my OneNote documents. Close that. Open with clips always. That's interesting. Does it need to be in a project? And I could just copy the project in there. Okay, show in System Explorer. We cut it. We cut it. We go into here. We paste it in here. We close that, and then we delete that. Okay. Close that. Open that. Huh. So it can't actually launch dot projects. So I've just got to open it. Okay, well I don't need the Word document anymore. So if I go here, properties, if I close projects, and if I delete, no, come on, we can do this. Finish, and there we have it. Right, so now I can do all the work in here and I don't need to cross compare the stuff anymore. Alright, so this is what it actually looks like. just wonder if I can link the result. Maybe not. Be nice if where I click on here navigates the pane in there. As heading rules, notes, links, reference table, line break. An overview graph. Oh, okay, sure. Anyway, right. So now we can go in here and fill it out. Wonderful. And I think I need to take those images that I had and export them into. So if we go in here, go new folder, images, and there's like save as picture, documents. Thank you very much. Images, maps one, save picture as. No, that's two. And then we had projectiles section here. So this is image. There we go. I can just do that twice. Then we come up here. It should be able to render them. I think. Do they actually? Yeah. Maybe it only does it on the web browser version. Okay, maybe its renderer is a bit bugged. And then we had some text, which was here. This is a hyperlink. So this is like, how do you do a link? I've completely forgotten how you do links. Let me just double check. Oh, it's probably. That should have worked. Is it like this that it? Um. Uh. Hmm. I'm surprised that isn't doing the link properly. Pardon me. Oh, it's like plus signs and stuff. Is that what it needs? I mean, does this link actually work? I've not, it might be completely redundant. Yeah, no, it doesn't work anymore. Oh, excuse me. Alright, fine, whatever. But we've got the calculations in here now, so we don't need to worry. So it can render it there. I don't know why it's not rendering it here. Cool, right, whatever. So we're done. We have every bit of information in here, and it's going to neatly format it for us. Cool. Good. Right, I don't have to worry about nonsense word. It's just walls of text. Right, specialized backpacks is where we got to. Wherever that's ended up, here we go. Right. So yeah, now I can simply okay, hang on. Link to against invest. Okay, whatever. I mean, probably not going to be much different. Kind of feels like a waste of time at the moment, so we'll see. Yeah, having to scroll the way down again just doesn't seem warranted. So if I go down here, I just do test, I save. That's so irritating. That's for creating stuff. Normally there's just a button and it like links from one to the other. But whatever, I can just work off of this then and we'll just cross that bridge when we come to it. How do I not be in preview? Does this work? Oh, that's cool. Huh, nice. I wasn't expecting that actually. That's really good. So yeah, we can go here, we can go backpacks. So if I now do test, I hit save on there, and then I do backpacks on here. Okay, that's reasonable. So if I pop the outline out, okay, that's fine, because they both go to the same place as well. So. Okay, so it allows players to carry specialized things. So the cons, this could the balance of the game by carry a lot more the boys couldn't players could take what I'm thinking. So I like the idea that backpacks can't be stored inside an inventory when they're like out and used. So what I'm thinking is, imagine you're in a situation where you have you've got multiple types of backpacks and you just want to like you're going out to do some resource gathering. So you go into a container and there's like an item that represents a packed backpack. So then you have this situation where the because you don't really want a container in a container. That's problematic. It's possible, I think. Yeah, because I would have a instance item that would be of a type, and then a container that would link to that item. So realistically, there isn't any reason currently that I couldn't have a container inside a container. Which I think is what I have. Yeah, because you have armor that sits inside your player inventory, and then you can extend it, and then it shows what's inside it and things. So I think I need to massively rework the inventory UI. It's questionable at best. So yeah, so that's possible. So one of the downsides is players could store backpacks inside containers with items in them. Okay, so like the first one, so let's say specialized backpacks can only contain items that are it's designed for within so like within reason. So some items like basic food, water, meds, etc. can be stored in all then is to the specific items. Do I not have word wrap on anymore? It was that. There we go. Yeah, so now if we navigate back down to here. Yeah, so this could impact the balance scale, allowing players to carry a lot more items they otherwise couldn't. Specialized backpacks can only contain items that's designed for within reason. Some items are basic, blah blah blah. So yeah, so you could have a backpack on you and it would like reduce the carry weight of like stone and wood or something, and then you could still put in other things in it and it would be fine. Seems pretty reasonable to me. All right, and then the other one, so make it so backpacks, make it so only the backpacks can be stored inside containers. Packing them up into simple item with a subtype of their specialty. So there'd be like a item type of backpack, and then there'd be a separate table with backpack. Separate subtype table, I think. Yeah, defining the subtype. Special specialty. Like, if you're gonna tell me that a word's spelled incorrectly, can you tell me why? And fix it, maybe. Is there any means of... I don't think it's special. So it's normally... No. Okay, my spelling is atrocious. Why is that so wrong? It's not. IALTY. Okay, I want like American spelling or something. Um, um, link editor with internal preview. So it's got that functionality. I guess it's just not using it. Anywho. Yeah, so make it so only empty backpacks can be stored inside containers, packing them up into a simple backpack item with this. Yeah, so also possibly have backpack specific storage that is simply a set of hooks slash shelves that they sit in. Something like that. So it'd be pretty cool if you're like walking around and the oh god, it's so annoying that it like reorientates where this goes every time. Yeah, I mean, let's just do this. Right, so I've gone past it. It's interesting. It's like it's constantly jumping it around. That's really, really, really irritating. Oh, don't tell me you're still doing it. Come on. Right. Oh dear. Yeah, so what I'm thinking is we could have like a shelving unit and there'd be like some hooks and then some like slots. And you just come up and you can press E on an empty slot and it will like detach the backpack from you. You do an animation and backpack goes on the slot. And then it's like it's as if it's attached to a player, but then it acts like a interactable inventory. Um, and then if you look at another backpack, you can like swap them over or something. So you like look at it and it switches with what you've currently got. So that'd be cool. Uh, yeah, I think that sounds pretty good to me. Uh, and yeah, also not allowing people to store backpacks with items inside them. Um, it's creating kind of recursive storage problems. Doesn't sound particularly thrilling to me. I mean, I could just make it so you can't store backpacks inside an inventory at all. When you make them, if you've got one, it just drops your current one and equips the new one. But I think that's probably a bit extreme. So I like the idea of you can pack them up into a small one slot item that doesn't really weigh anything. So you could be running around without one, and then you just press a button and it just backpack. So we've kind of thought about carts and backpacks and storage things and sorted a bit more of the spawning stuff. Oh dear. It's annoying that the images aren't actually being rendered. Ah, oh, I pressed the wrong button. Like, why? Hmm. Don't know. Whatever. I guess I'll have to look at them manually. Oh, what else do we need to do? Oh, just the rest of it really, but um let's just attach that. ASCII set fonts. Hmm. What? Oh, it's ASCII doc. Oh, okay. What do I? I'm just trying to change the font. Um, nope, not exactly what I had in mind. Hmm. Okay, whatever. I'll get onto that another time. Right. Anyway. Blah 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 blah. Good. I think that'll probably do for now. I'll come back to it later. But at least I've got the this stored in OneDrive and accessible in Eclipse free, so I can work on it in Notepad if I have to. But yeah. Hmm. Um. Yeah, I think that'll probably be it for now. It's just gonna be. I mean, I did waste an hour basically redoing most of this. This is gonna be tricky, figuring out how the building system's gonna work, scales and like upkeep. Yeah, I'll come back to this later. Shall leave it there. By later, I probably mean in like a couple hours or something, really. Probably the same again tomorrow. Um, Hmm. Okay. How odd. All right, that would do. Yeah, wonderful. I will be back later.